Ever feel like you're being pulled in every direction by people, pressure, and expectations that aren't even yours? In a world full of noise, where everyone's trying to influence your choices, how do you stay rooted in who you really are? Picture yourself in a crowded city square. Faces everywhere, voices buzzing, energy pulling you in 100 directions. Each person carries their own story, their struggles, their desires. And in that sea of noise, manipulation is subtle but constant. People telling you who to be, what to want, and how to live. But Stoic philosophy offers us something powerful, a way to stay grounded, even when the world tries to shake us. Today, we begin a journey through 7 Stoic lessons, timeless ideas that can help you resist manipulation and live with integrity in a world that often pushes you off course. Let's begin with the first one. Chapter 1. Embrace what you can control. Life throws a lot at us. Deadlines, criticism, chaos, unexpected change. But the Stoics remind us of something essential. Our power doesn't come from controlling the world. It comes from mastering ourselves. Marcus Aurelius said it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That idea is the anchor. It's not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about responding in a way that protects your peace. Think about the modern workplace. Tension, gossip, credit-stealing coworkers. You do your best, and someone else takes the glory. You feel frustration rising, maybe even anger. But here's the Stoic way. Don't let them drag you into their storm. Instead, return to your own center. Respond with calm. Let your work speak louder than your emotions. Seek growth, not revenge. Stay professional, not because they deserve it, but because you do. Sarah did just that, in a toxic job where a colleague kept stealing credit. She could have fought fire with fire. But instead, she focused inward, on her standards, her values. She kept her head down, did excellent work, and stayed composed. In time, her professionalism earned respect, not just from peers, but from leadership. She didn't let the chaos control her. She controlled what she could, and that changed everything. So what's the takeaway? When you focus on your actions, your thoughts, and your responses, you take back your power. You become unshakable, even in the middle of other people's storms. And that is only the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll look at another Stoic tool, one that helps you cut through illusion and see the truth hiding behind charming masks. Chapter 2. Recognize and reject false appearances. Not everything that glitters is gold. In a world filled with polished profiles, clever marketing, and confident voices, it's easy to be swept away by charm. But the Stoics remind us, what really matters isn't how things look. It's what lies beneath. Epictetus put it simply, it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning events. That single insight flips everything. Because it means we're not victims of what happens. We're shaped by how we interpret it. So what does that mean in practice? It means learning to pause, to look past the surface, to ask, is this real, or just a performance? Imagine a smooth-talking leader making bold promises. Their words sparkle, their image is flawless. But Stoicism urges us not to be dazzled. Instead, investigate, dig deeper, ask yourself, are their promises grounded in truth, or built on illusion? Where's the evidence? Does this align with my values, or just my desires? Take the case of John. He was offered a fast-track investment, big returns, fancy slides, a convincing pitch. But instead of jumping in, John did something rare. He slowed down. He asked questions. He He got advice. What he found were red flags, risks the salesperson had conveniently skipped. By trusting reason over excitement, John walked away and protected not just his money, but his peace of mind. That's the Stoic way. Don't let appearances fool you. Question the performance. Seek the substance. Because once you learn to do that, you stop being someone who's easily swayed and start becoming someone who sees clearly. And that clarity is your shield against manipulation. Chapter 3. Cultivate inner fortitude. The world will test you. People will challenge you. But your greatest defense? Your character. Seneca once said, "A man is as good as his character." Character is the real man. Not your job, not your bank account, not the praise or the criticism. Just your character. This is what the Stoics call inner fortitude. A deep, quiet strength rooted in your values, unshaken by other people's noise. It's like having a compass inside you that keeps pointing north, no matter the storm. Let's bring this to life. Imagine being constantly criticized at work. Every effort questioned, every success downplayed. It would wear anyone down. But a Stoic doesn't crumble, they reflect. Take Emma, for example. Her manager seemed determined to discredit her. But instead of breaking down or lashing out, Emma focused on what she could control: her effort, her standards, her integrity. And over time, people noticed. Her work spoke louder than any gossip. And her resilience earned the respect her manager never gave. Emma didn't win by fighting fire with fire. She won by staying true to herself. That's what inner fortitude looks like. And building it? It's a daily practice. You reflect. You clarify your values. You hold yourself to them, even when no one else does. Because when your strength comes from within, no one can take it from you. And in the next chapter, we'll explore another layer of this strength. How understanding the nature of desire can protect you from being used and help you walk your own path with freedom. Chapter 4. Understand the nature of human desires. We all want something: more success, more recognition, more comfort or connection. Desire, in itself, isn't the enemy, but when we don't understand it, when we let it lead us blindly, that's when we get lost. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The universe is change, life is opinion," and in that single line, he captured a Stoic truth. Our desires, they shift. What feels urgent today might seem trivial tomorrow. And yet, so many people and systems know how to exploit that urgency. They promise you fulfillment, status, pleasure, if only you'll give something up in return. Maybe it's a pushy salesperson selling luxury as identity. Maybe it's someone in your life making you feel that love, approval, or success is just one compromise away. But here's the Stoic reminder. Pause, reflect, ask, is this desire real or just passing? And even if it's real, is it worth the price? Let's take Tom, for example. He was offered a deal that ticked all the boxes: fast money, shiny status, instant success. On the surface, it looked like a dream. But Tom didn't jump. He slowed down. He examined the offer not through the lens of desire, but through the lens of his values. What he saw underneath wasn't so pretty. Risks, ethical concerns, long-term consequences that didn't sit right with him. So he walked away, not because he didn't want success, but because he understood the cost of chasing it the wrong way. That's what Stoicism teaches us. To notice our cravings, but not be ruled by them. To understand that desire is like a flame, bright, tempting, but also fleeting. When you step back from desire, you step into clarity. You start making choices not from impulse, but from intention. And that is freedom. Because when your decisions are rooted in long-term purpose, not short-term pleasure, you become far harder to manipulate. You're no longer chasing the next high, you're walking your own path. And that path continues. Because next, we'll explore how mastering your emotions, not suppressing them, can help you stay steady, even when the world tries to shake you. Chapter 5. Practice emotional detachment. We've all been there, moments when emotions hit like a tidal wave. Anger, fear, betrayal, they rise up fast. And if we're not careful, they take the wheel. But what if you didn't have to be a passenger to those feelings? The Stoics believed something powerful. You are not your emotions. You are the observer of them. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That idea is at the heart of emotional detachment, one of Stoicism's most misunderstood, yet most liberating practices. Emotional detachment doesn't mean shutting down or pretending nothing affects you. It means developing the inner strength to see your emotions, without being swept away by them. Think of Nelson Mandela, locked away for 27 years, enduring injustice, isolation, and cruelty. Yet when he walked out of prison, he didn't come out bitter. He came out calm, composed, with a vision of reconciliation. How? Because Mandela mastered the art of inner distance. He learned to feel the weight of pain, but not let it control his path. Or consider Steve Jobs, fired from the very company he built, publicly humiliated, written off. But instead of collapsing under the blow, he turned inward, refocused, and returned years later to revolutionize technology. His emotional clarity gave him space to think long-term, while others reacted in the short term. Practicing detachment is like training your inner lens. You don't suppress your feelings, you notice them. Name them, but don't let them steer the ship. If someone betrays you, if you fail in front of others, if your plans fall apart, you feel it, yes. But then you ask yourself, how will I respond with wisdom, not impulse? That pause, just a breath between emotion and action, can change everything. Emotional detachment isn't coldness, it's courage, the courage to rise above manipulation and stay anchored in truth. And that brings us to a practice that goes hand in hand with emotional resilience. Chapter 6. Embrace the present moment. What if the only power you truly had was right now? Not yesterday's regret, not tomorrow's anxiety, just this breath, this step, this moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The only time you should be concerned with is now." That's not just poetic, it's practical. In times of pressure or manipulation, the mind loves to wander. What if I lose this opportunity? What if I regret this later? But Stoicism pulls you back to solid ground, this moment. Because this is where your decisions live. This is where your clarity lives. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, understood this better than most. In the darkest conditions imaginable, he found meaning by focusing on what he still had. The ability to choose his attitude in the present. He couldn't change the outside, but he could master his response to it. And in doing so, he found a strength no prison could take away. Or take Oprah Winfrey, rising from hardship and trauma. Throughout her journey, she didn't let future fears or past pain steal her attention. She stayed rooted in the present, using each experience as fuel, not failure. Embracing the present doesn't mean ignoring danger. It means facing it with full awareness, instead of fear-driven reactions. When someone tries to pressure you, when urgency clouds your judgment, ask yourself, what do I know now? What's within my control in this moment? That simple question can cut through noise and manipulation like a blade. Because when you stand fully in the now. Chapter 7. Seek wisdom and guidance. In a world overflowing with noise, opinions, and surface-level answers, real wisdom feels rare. But the Stoics remind us, it's not only rare, it's essential. Seneca said it best, wisdom is the only good. Not status, not success, not even knowledge alone. Wisdom. And wisdom isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you seek, deliberately, patiently, humbly. It's found in books, in mentors, in life's hard-earned lessons. Take Benjamin Franklin, for example. He wasn't just a founding father, he was a lifelong student. Through endless reading, deep conversations, and relentless curiosity, he sharpened his judgment and broadened his perspective. That's how he navigated the messy, unpredictable world of politics and diplomacy, with clarity and insight. Or look at Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in history. And yet, he still reads for hours every day, still surrounds himself with wise people, still reflects before making major moves. Because he knows, wisdom doesn't come from impulse. It comes from reflection. So when life presents you with a tough decision, or when someone tries to sway your path with charm, pressure, or fear, pause. Don't just react. Ask for guidance. Seek out someone who's walked the road before. Study the principles of those who've stood strong through storms. This is how Stoics face manipulation, not with anger or resistance, but with informed clarity. They learn, they reflect, they act, with purpose. When you commit to seeking wisdom, you step into your full power. You begin making choices rooted not in emotion or ego, but in truth. And when paired with emotional detachment, with presence in the moment, and the courage to examine your desires, wisdom becomes your anchor. As we wrap up this journey through Stoic principles, let's take a step back. What have we uncovered? That real strength isn't about dominating others, it's about mastering yourself. That clarity isn't a gift, it's a skill you can train. And that integrity comes from choosing your values again and again, even when it's hard. So here's your invitation. Reflect on what resonated with you today. Ask yourself, where in my life can I apply this wisdom? What step can I take today to be a little more grounded, a little more free? Because Stoicism isn't just philosophy, it's a path, one that unfolds step by step, decision by decision. And you don't have to walk it alone. If this video offered you something of value, let us know in the comments below. Your insights might light the way for someone else. And if you're ready to keep growing, if you're ready to keep exploring this journey of inner strength, then subscribe to the Stoic Journey. Like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and join us for the next chapter. There's so much more to uncover, and your path toward clarity and authenticity has only just begun.